Hello.
Well done, Novak, in extending your quarterfinal streak. You're very consistent at every event. Does this number impress you here in Rome, 17 consecutive?
Well, I am definitely pleased with my results historically here in Rome. It's one of my best tournaments, most consistent tournaments on all surfaces. Won the tournament quite a few times and played a lot of finals or semi-finals, quarterfinals, at least in the 17 years, which is amazing that I've been coming to Rome, and it's kind of historically the tournament that I haven't been missing because I love playing here. I love being in Rome. I have a lot of supporters and good energy, and I think it comes for me exactly at the right time as a tournament where I'm able to, raise and kind of elevate the level of my and quality of my tennis so that I can set the right form and the right tone for Roland Garros. So I'm really glad to reach another quarterfinals.
Congrats today, Novak. Rune tomorrow, what do you make of his game and his attitude on the court?
We played only once. We practiced quite a few times, but we played only once, and I lost to him in Paris-Bercy finals in a really close match, tough match. Even though he's really young, I know he's gained quite well. He's been on the tour now for the last few years, playing some great tennis. Particularly in the last, I would say, 6 to 8 months, he's been really establishing himself as a top player. He's a top 10 player, and deservedly so. He's been playing some really high quality tennis. He's one of the hardest workers out there. Nice guy, I get along well with him. But on the court, obviously, we certainly want to win against each other. And it kind of reminds me of me a little bit. The way he plays is, really fit physically, great defense, but also great counter puncher. He can, hurt you from both forehand and backhand side. Really solid serve. Aggressive returns, and just an all-round player, really, on all surfaces, and particularly on clay. I think he finds himself really comfortable playing. He played finals of Monaco, was very close to win the title there, so he's in a very good form, and I look forward to a challenge. I think it's going to be a very physical match.
Congrats, the ATP announced that from 2025 there's going to be electric line calling on all tournaments and all courts. Just wondering what you think about that, and especially on the surface where obviously there's a lot of mark checking and arguments, and also if it feels different playing on a court with fewer people, I guess.
Obviously, we pride ourselves in tennis that we maintained tradition and culture and history, and this is one of the things that has been there forever, the line umpires. So, of course, it's not an easy change for a lot of people to accept because they're part of the game, they're part of the sport, and we are so used to having line umpires, but I think it's one of these things that I think it's a good decision because technological advancements have improved so much in the last decade or so, and we probably won't have the drama that I think people like to see sometimes, and especially on clay, arguing with the umpires of whether the ball was in or out, looking at the mark, having the crowd get into it. There is this element as well of, I would say, interest that drama is generating in people and viewership. So, of course, from that point of view, we're going to miss that, but at the same time, I think, we're going to decrease the possibilities of errors, fully, because of course, technology can be wrong as well, but 1 or 2%, if so. So, you can't argue with that once you see it on the screen. Yeah, I think it's a good decision, and it's the right direction to move into when it comes to that. I'm not supportive of technology taking over everything, but in this direction, I'm supportive of that.
Yes, Novak, you were a bit delayed at the start of the game because it seems you've been in the treatment room. Is there a physical issue for you, or could you just talk a little bit about that?
Well, yes, I had something, but don't want to talk about that too much. We had a late warm-up today because the courts also practice courts. So there was only 2 practice courts available to practice for so many players, and it was not an ideal preparation for the match. And I finished my warm-up maybe 10 minutes before the match was called. So I try to do everything in time, and that's it. I got the permission from supervisor to have an extra 7-8 minutes, and that's all it was.
Last one.
Novak, you seemed quite angry with Cameron when he hit you. Do you think he did it deliberately? And were you upset that he took that medical timeout when you were about to serve out the match?
I did watch the replay when he hit me. Yeah, maybe you could say that he didn't hit me deliberately. I don't know if he saw me. I mean, you peripherically you can always see where the player is positioned on the court, and the ball was super slow and super close to the net, and I just turned around. I mean, because the point was over for me, but. It was not so much maybe about that, but it was a kind of combination of things, from the very beginning. I don't know. I mean, he was doing all the things that were allowed. He's allowed to take a medical timeout. He's allowed to hit the player. He's allowed to say, come on, in the face, more or less every single point from basically first game. But, those are the things that we players know that in the locker room it's not the fair play. It's not how we, treat each other. And, but again, it's allowed. So I got along with Cameron really well all these years that he's been on the tour. Practiced with each other, and so he's a very nice guy off the court. So I don't understand this kind of attitude on the court, to be honest. But it is what it is. He brought the fire, and I responded to that. I'm not going to allow someone behaving like this and just bending my head. So I'm going to respond to that, but that's all it is. What happens on the court, we leave it on the court, and we move on.